Hi, guys. Okay, so are all security products created equal? So you're here today, you're hearing about security products. Most of you have in your organizations antivirus, you have firewall, and you have perhaps IPS, and they are all very important. However, they are not effective against modern threats like sophisticated exploits and crypto mining and polymorphic. So you see here like this very motivational guard that it is not enough. This is where we stand as an industry. We see like sophistication of attacks and the protections. This is where we are as enterprises in the survey that we've done among customers. Most of the organization have virus protection, network protection through firewall and IDS. However, they still lacking application protection such as sandboxes, and vulnerability assessments and application control, or payload protection such as bot protection, etc. And we're not even talking about the mega attacks that are being used by regular cyber crime organization using tools by the NSA and the CIA, as we've all seen in the past year in NotPetya and WannaCry. So the solutions do exist. And this is if any of you are customers, CISOs, network security, you see the plethora of security vendors that have solutions. I respect all of them, but it is quite confusing, almost creating an epileptic attack. You have web security, endpoint security, application security, mail security, mobile security, data security, cloud security, and even if all of them are the best of breed, best vendors for those specific segments, it does create a challenge for you in actually handling all of those technologies. Now, there's one thing in common to all of those vendors. First of all of them will tell you that they have the best security. So what does it mean? What does it even mean? Like, we are the best. You see their booths outside. Everyone will tell you, we have the best solution for you. What does it mean? How do you measure it? How do you decide what it is? So I have a quote here that says, it was by William H. Deming, an engineer, that says, "In God we trust. All other must bring data." Meaning, okay, you say you have the best security. Can you provide proof, tangible, hard data that provide a way for me to know that you will provide me the best security? So this is, in a sense, what I will discuss with you in the following minutes. So it boils down to, when we're talking about what is the best security, what is generation 5 of security solutions, it boils down that the security should be effective, the product should be effective in blocking threats from entering your network, cloud, mobile devices, etc. It should be everywhere, meaning not only as a firewall in the network, but it should also protect IoT, it should protect your cloud infrastructure, Office 365, mobile devices, endpoints, etc. And it should be efficient, meaning you should be able to manage it in an efficient way. So what does effective means in terms of pragmatic approach? So it all starts with the right focus. So we are here, you will see many security vendors that will come and speak about their solution. The best interest of you that those security vendors have as many people as possible focused on developing the products, not on the marketing or selling the products. You as customers and even as partners, you would want to have as many people as possible focused on research and development. So this is the case for Checkpoint 1402, which is 31% of our workforce. How does it compare to other security in the other security, pure security vendors in the industry? You can see in front of your eyes. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they are as efficient. So I need to prove to you that those 1,400 people don't drink orange juice every day or the whole day, and they actually provide very good technologies to our customers. So another fundamental philosophy in understanding what effective security means is having real-time prevention in mind. In every solution that you develop, that the security vendor develops, it needs to have in mind preventing threats before they cause damage to your network. And when we're talking about the security technologies from Check Point, every security that we develop has in mind to block threats real time, not block threats after 5 minutes or telling you that you've been breached and give you a whole forensic analysis that you've been breached and that you can tell your boss, yes, I know we've been screwed, but I can tell you exactly how they got in. So this is not the case. So we're talking about stuff like CPU level advanced threat prevention, threat extraction for 0 days, zero phishing, browser extension, anti-ransomware for endpoints. You can hear all about it outside. I don't have enough time to explain exactly what it means, but I can tell you that the industry, such as Gartner and Forrester, for example, Gartner is saying Check Point is gaining ground from an innovative standpoint and can boast one of the most complete offerings in the network security market today. Forrester is raving about the threat extraction that basically proactively block sophisticated threats from entering your network without any human intervention. But not all security vendors provide real-time prevention. There are security vendors that first detect threats and only after move from detection to prevention. It can even be 5 minutes, like they emulated the threat, and after at least 5 minutes, sometimes much more, they can move from detection of the threats to prevention of the threats. Or even they cannot scan, they cannot scan any PDF file that is over 1 megabyte of size, something that is very, very challenging, I would call it. Also, other vendors, for example, this vendor, it says it does not block files that it uploads to its sandbox. So all of these things kind of remind me of this TV ad. Sound, please. Sound, please.
Have a good day.
Aren't you gonna fix it?
Well, I'm not a dentist. I'm a dental monitor. I just tell you when you have a bad cavity.
That's bad. Lunch?
Oh, yes.
Where are you going?
Why monitor a problem if you don't fix it?
Yes. So why monitor a problem if you cannot really prevent it? And the other element of effective security is the sense of urgency of the security vendor. You might ask yourself, you as a customer has been breached or have a vulnerability in one of your systems, but sometimes the security vendor themselves have vulnerabilities in their product. And this is exactly what happened to us. And when you look at this thing, you need to ask yourself, how fast is the security vendor takes my problem seriously and provide a patch? So this is an analysis from the past 2 years. Check Point had 2 vulnerabilities. It was around OpenSSH that we use in our products, and it took us 1 day to provide a patch to those systems. How does it compare to other vendors in the industry? This is how it compares. By the way, I'm not making this up because it's all publicly verifiable. It all has something called CVE. So you can count the days. First of all, you can count the amount of vulnerabilities, and you can count how many days it took for the vendor from the disclosure of the vulnerability to releasing a patch. So this is the reality. You can see here, I'm not even talking bad about those vendors. I have nothing against them. But you can see here how important it is to have sense of urgency when you're developing a product and you screw up. And it happens to all the vendors. Also, when you discuss about specific attacks that requires signatures, IPS signatures for specific attacks, so those are the top attacks from 2017. This is the average response time to Microsoft Patch Tuesday, the WannaCry and NotPetya, the eternal blue vulnerability that triggered the lateral movement, the Apache struts, and Spectre and Meltdown. This is how long it took us to release a signature, and this is how long it took our competitors. Again, all of this information is publicly verifiable from their security advisory website. You can see here the link, tinycc/urgency. Very important. But I can tell you until tomorrow that it's part of my contract that we have the best security. I can even show you some slides. But it's better that a third-party testing lab that validated those solutions will tell you that same reality. And you see here that Checkpoint from 2011 has been tested multiple times by a testing lab, a third-party independent testing lab called NSS Labs, and 17 out of the 17 times they got the highest rating, which is recommended rating. Also, other vendors got recommended. This is considerably very good. To be totally fair, because I know they're speaking after me, this is the test that we all participated together. So they also have endpoint and other stuff. They have more recommended, but you can see the percentage and the ratio and how important that is. What an effective security must not have is security shortcuts. And when we say security shortcuts, we mean to prefer performance over security. So this is a setting in one of the security vendors. It has a setting called forward segments exceeding TCP content inspection queue. Let's see what it means. By default, meaning it's on by default, when the TCP or UDP content inspection queue is full, the firewall skips content ID. That means no antivirus, no URL filtering, no IPS, no anti-bot, no anything. So this is what happens. But luckily for us, it's a setting that you can disable or enable. But look what they tell you here. Disabling this option can result in performance degradation, like duh, and some applications may incur loss of functionality. Meaning you have two options if you have this security system. Either secure and not working, or working and not secure. Also, other vendor has similar setting that I will not go into now. So that was around effective security. Let's say a few words about the security, that even if it's the most effective one, you gotta have it running everywhere, meaning not only on your network, but also on your endpoints, also on your mobile devices, IoT, data centers, etc. So the challenge today is that our networks are borderless, meaning our data that used to be in the perimeter is no longer. It is on Office 365, it is on Salesforce, it's even on WhatsApp or Slack, etc. And the thing is that once you have infection in one area of the network, it propagates all over. So you gotta have protection across the entire infrastructure to have an effective protection. So one way to do so, to achieve that task, is to have Gal Gadot. Wonder Woman, she's Israeli, by the way. Another option, in case she charges too much money or she's not available, is to have the Checkpoint Infinity architecture. And the Checkpoint Infinity architecture provides protection in a unified management scope across the entire infrastructure of your network with shared threat intelligence, that every component speaks to each other with advanced use of AI, machine learning, and predictive analytics, all the correct buzzwords that you'd like. and it provides protection. You can see here some of the offering into the mobile through something, a product called Sandblast Mobile or Capsule Workspace, into the cloud, CloudGuard YAS, to platforms like VMware NSX, Cisco ACI, Azure Stack, or even public cloud like AWS, Microsoft, Oracle, etc. And also to SaaS applications such as Salesforce, Office 365, etc. And of course, what you know and love, the unified management of Checkpoint with access control, advanced threat prevention, with branch offices security, and advanced security also for the endpoint through Sandblast Agent. All of this creates, with shared threat intelligence, creates like the Infinity architecture and the Gen 5 security. Another important element, and I'd like to point out an advantage of our competitors over us, is latency. If you look at this, you will see that this vendor has the lowest latency in the industry when we're talking about UDP packets, raw processing data. You see that through the use of ASICs and network processors, they can achieve the lowest latency in the industry, which is good. Our latency in UDP is 31 microseconds, and this one is 3.4, or in this one is 9.4, etc. But what happens when you have full threat prevention inspection? All of the sudden, the picture becomes different, and again, this is verified by a third party. All of the sudden, you see that the latency, when we're talking of the importance of software-defined architecture, which is Checkpoint software technologies, you see that the architecture of Intel and the software-defined architecture provides better cost performance in terms of latency of advanced threat prevention. Again, publicly verifiable. And last but not least, the technology partners. Your security is strong, but Checkpoint doesn't do everything. But it has the most robust in the industry security partners, technology partner ecosystem that provides you with the ability to have better security posture across your entire infrastructure, whether it's like security incident and event management, network access control, cloud security that complements solutions, etc. And last but not least, the security, even if it's good, very good, the security vendor like a security solution that provides very good mobile security or very good database security or very good web application firewall, it needs to have an efficient management, operational efficient management architecture. And this is something that Checkpoint is has the strongest point in terms of management. Checkpoint is perceived to be the gold standard against which other consoles are management consoles are measured. This is what Gartner is saying. And it takes the lowest amount of hours to manage a security with Checkpoint. The competitor takes twice as much. I'm almost done. And if there's one image that captures it all, this is the one from our management, from a unified management architecture, that from one single pane of glass you can control the security of your users, devices, mobile, tablets, etc. Data types, applications, you can deploy the security on your gateways, on your private cloud, on your public cloud, and on your mobile devices, all from one unified security dashboard. So to summarize, Gen 5 security, the 5th generation of cybersecurity protection to defend against those mega attacks needs to be effective, efficient, and everywhere. And this is what we do across all our products with the Infinity architecture. Thank you very much.